Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Makeup and Motivation. These are my Monday uploads, 7:15 a.m. If you're new to this style of video, basically I sit down, do my makeup. I don't talk about the makeup, but if you are interested in the products that I'm using, everything is listed down in the description box. So, my goal with these style of videos is to encourage you, to motivate you, to pour into you, and to get you thinking about growth, hard decisions that we need to make, and how we just need to evolve in life and change and be better people. So I missed last week's upload. I hope you missed me. I hope that you wondered what happened, that that you were looking forward to it and it just wasn't there. I hope somebody out there, aside from my mom and sister, were looking forward to it. And the simple matter of fact was I just did not have the time. I did not have a finished piece of writing to go off of, and I didn't want to sit down where my heart wasn't in it. And I don't know, I felt like it was okay to skip last week, even though it is weird looking back and there not being a video for last Monday. I feel like it's okay. I have several videos planned for the future, whether it just be plain makeup content or makeup and motivation. I have several ideas, so I'm looking forward to going forward with this. I hope that you guys are enjoying my content and that I grow and that we grow together and that this channel really becomes something, because I want this. I want this so bad. I want this to become a job for me. I want this to be something that I can grow tremendously with, my personal growth, my relationship with God, that the channel itself, viewers, that grow, that I watch my makeup evolve and become better, and I just want this, and there are things in life that we want so badly to have, and we really feel a pull towards it or calling towards it, and I feel that with doing these videos. So I want to see this grow. So today's piece is going to be every detail of how I feel. That's the title. We're not going to go into every detail of how I feel. We're just not going to, but that is the title, every detail of how I feel. What does that make you think of just right off the bat? Every detail of how I feel. We can often feel very misunderstood. So, let's get started. There are times when I wish I could paint a picture of every detail I've felt throughout my life. The happiness I've experienced, the grueling bitterness I felt, all laid out perfectly to create this hauntingly beautiful work of art. I wish I could do that. But the thing is, I can't paint. In fact, my 5-year-old niece could probably do a better job than I could. We all have gifts, our innate ability to be skilled at something, raw talent. We all have it. And painting's not mine. My grandmother can paint. My sister can draw. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I can barely sign my name in a presentable font. But that's okay. Exodus 35:35 says, "He has filled them with skill to do every sort of work done by an engraver or by a designer, or by an embroiderer in blue and purple and scarlet yarns, and fine twined linen, or by a weaver, by any sort of workman or skilled designer." Our talents, our skills, all these things that we have, my ability to take pictures, is a God-given thing. My mom playing piano, it's a God-given thing. We have all these gifts, these beautiful gifts. Our skills, our worth ethics, things that we are capable of doing, is a beautiful gift from God. Whatever skill you have, dedicate it to the Lord. Whatever you are doing, make a point to giving it credit to God, turning it over for His glory, for His praise. My photographs that I take, that's for God. My videos that I film, that's for God. Me doing my makeup, that's for God, because those are my creative abilities that I have. Me cooking, I love to cook. That's for God. Everything that we do it to give glory to God. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men." We can even be at a job that we absolutely hate, but if we give glory to God and do it for God and treat it as if God were our boss, it makes things so much better. So much better, but we let people ruin things for us. And I know what you're thinking. This is going to be a nice message about our creative abilities, but it's not. This is going to be about every detail of how we feel. And I feel like our creative abilities, that was a necessary add-on to this piece. And I don't know why, but I just feel like it just flows beautifully together. There are times when we feel like we're screaming at a brick wall trying to force someone into understanding us. Our details, desires, and thought processes are unique to us and can often be misunderstood and misinterpreted. And that can be very frustrating, to feel like nobody understands you, that it's like you're speaking a different language and they just can't understand you, but you're trying your hardest to explain yourself to make sense to somebody, but they still can't understand you. Being misunderstood can be very frustrating, and it can bring this feeling of an insecure sadness over us. We question ourselves, like, if somebody can't understand us, then is something wrong with me? Am I too different? Am I too weird? Am I too unusual? Am I too this or that? We can often feel very insecure, and honestly, it can just leave us feeling very lonely, feeling like nobody will ever get you, you know. But there's one who knows us and knows us better than we know ourselves, and for that I am so thankful for. Luke 12:6-7 says, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins, and not one of them is forgotten before God? But the very hairs on your head are all numbered. Do not fear, therefore you are of more value than many sparrows." I love that verse, because not only are we so important to God that our hairs are numbered, but yet there's not a single sparrow that falls that God doesn't know about, you know? And that's just such a beautiful thing, because sparrows can be kind of a menace and we don't always appreciate them. They're just such an ordinary, plain Jane little bird, and even still they're counted before God, you know, they matter to God, and that makes me feel important. That makes me feel appreciated for who I am, and like I don't have to fit into the mold of anything, because as weird, as unique, as thrown off as I may be, I matter. I matter to God, because even the sparrows do, and you matter. You matter to God wherever you are in your stage with God, your walk with God, wherever you are in your life, your phases, whatever. You matter to God. Even if you're not living right, you matter to God. We're so important to the Lord that our hairs are numbered. So important that our every detail is known. Regardless of how good or bad we are, how unusual or ordinary we may feel, we're still seen and understood by God. How beautiful that is. So many of us feel forever misunderstood, like outcast, but we're chosen by God to fulfill our divine purpose. Every single one of us. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations." Before we were even, and so many of y'all don't believe that, and that's fine. Y'all aren't going to rain down and ruin this for me, because I believe this. I believe this before I was formed in my mother's womb. God knew me. God knew my spirit. We were in fellowship with each other. I firmly believe that. Before I was even born, I had a purpose. I had something to fulfill in life. And while I may feel like I am aimlessly searching for my purpose in life sometimes, at the end of every single day, I know I have a purpose. I might not know exactly what it is, but I am continuously searching to fulfill what I'm supposed to fulfill. And I want you guys to feel the same way, because so many of us feel unimportant and like we don't matter, like we don't make a lick of difference in the world in general. But you do. You matter to God. You matter to somebody who took the time to form your insignificant details. Okay, just a heads up, I have a brush like bristle in my eyeball, and I cannot get it out, even though like I can see it like swimming around in there. So like if this eye gets a little like woohoo, that's why. Psalms 139:1 says, "You have looked deep into my heart. Lord, you know all about me." You know all about me. And that's the CEV version. I like that version because it's like, you know all about me. Everything about me you know. While not everything may be good, you still know it. And while you may want me to change and grow and better myself, we're not being necessarily judged for it, I don't feel like. And I know some of you will disagree with that, because I know God is the ultimate judge, but it's not judgment in a condemning way. It's more so like, I view God as like, hey, do better, adjust this, tweak this, not like, you're going to hell. Like, you know, like I don't view God like that at all. And while so many of you do, I would suggest looking at God. I would recommend this. If you're having a hard time with, you feel like God is just condemning you and you're just blah, 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 like, view God as like the best father you could possibly imagine, that has all of your best interests at heart, that is always there for you, that just like a dream come true father figure. And I don't think that father would just beat us down, and that would be his angle to get us to better ourselves. I just don't think so. That's not how I view God. My decisions and behavior might not measure up in your mind. I simply might not make sense to you, and that's perfectly fine, because the Almighty knows every detail of who I am and how I feel. So if you can't understand me, if I don't make sense to you, my choices, my behavior, all of that, if it doesn't make sense to you, that's perfectly okay. And if you don't make sense to somebody, if they can't understand you, if they don't get why you do the things that you do, God gets you. God gets you completely, entirely, 100%. And at the end of every single day, nothing else matters except for you and God. So whether or not you are angry, bitter, you're painfully optimistic or pessimistic, whether you have dreams upon dreams upon goals, whether you feel lost in life and you don't know what to do, whether you are sick of the ordinary life that you may be living, whether you're exhausted from the adventurous life you're living, if you're perfectly content, or if you are constantly searching for more, God knows your every single detail. And I appreciate so much so that God does. That He sees my vision, that He sees my dreams, that He sees my strengths, weaknesses, all of this, that He sees me. And He gets me, and He loves me, and He loves me in spite of things that maybe I need to change and adjust and all of that, that I'm still chosen and appreciated and loved. For those of you who are struggling, I suggest pouring your heart out before God. Paint your picture, tell your stories, voice your thoughts and concerns. Nothing you tell the Lord will go unheard or misunderstood. No matter how ugly you feel, no matter how wonderful and beautiful your ideas may be, nothing. It won't go unheard. It's not going to hit void ears. it's going to be understood, and it's a beautiful thing. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, if you want to comment on this makeup look or the message, I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you would do so. If you want to be notified when I post, hit the bell. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.